the Lord, I will obey too. You guys should do the same. And they would have. And he was not going to die. And I'm going to show you proof later what happens if you would have obeyed. So now who gets the glory? Who gets to glorify the Lord? It wasn't Zedekiah. Zedekiah disobeyed. Somebody has to do it. And this is why it's important, because if you're looking at your life saying, well, I'm called to do great things. My father's a pastor. I go to church. I sing in the worship team. I lead Wednesday night Bible studies. Oh, I'm a good person. I do this and that. You know there's something in your life that you need to do. And if you don't get sharp about it, listen, I say this in the love of the Lord, because you will suffer. Now, a lot of us like to hear these grace messages, and they're awesome and they're great, that God's going to pull you through this and that and everything is going to be okay. And I'm sure, you know what? Before all that, King Zedekiah went to all his prophets and said, we're going to be okay, right? We're going to be just fine, right? They said, oh yeah, we're going to be fine. All you got to do is ask God. He'll take care of it, just like he took care of it every other time. Don't we say that again today? You'll get a job. You'll get out of your bad marriage. God's going to fix it. He's going to restore it and all this. Whatever it is, we always say to ourselves, it'll be okay. So did Zedekiah. It didn't go okay. He didn't obey the specific commands of the Lord. Look what happens instead. If you skip over now, chapter 40, Jeremiah's encounter with the commander in charge of this whole onslaught on Jerusalem. The word came to Jeremiah from the Lord after Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard, released him at Ramah. He had found Jeremiah bound in chains among all the captives from Jerusalem and Judah who were being carried into exile to Babylon. Now get this. When the commander of the guard found Jeremiah, he said to him, guys, before I read this, remember, this is the commander of Babylon. They're Gentiles. They're not Jews. They worship different gods. They do detestable and vile things. He just destroyed the temple of the Lord. And it confounds me how these words, what I'm about to read, came out of his mouth. But look what Commander Nebuzaradan says. When the commander of the guard found Jeremiah, he said to him, the Lord your God decreed this disaster for this place, and now the Lord has brought it about. He has done just as he said he would. All this happened because you people sinned against the Lord and did not obey him. But today I am freeing you from the chains on your wrists. Come with me to Babylon, if you like, and I will look after you. But if you do not want to, then don't come. Look, the whole country lies before you. Go wherever you please. That whole little section there is really tough to take in. You just destroyed my entire country, and now you're telling me to my face why it happened? Like, the guy who just beat up on you tells you the reason why I beat up on you is because your own God decreed it. The God, Lord Almighty, who you worship, decreed it. Oh, and the reason why he decreed it, and it happened so quickly and so easy, I mean, they just did it, is because you guys sinned against him. How is it that the enemy extols the Lord? It's amazing. That should have been Zedekiah saying the opposite. And on top of that, the only man of the Lord, Jeremiah, is freed. In fact, the commander says, you can come live with me and I'll look after you. Now I'm going to read one last part where I want you guys to capture and see what should have really happened to Zedekiah had he given the glory to the Lord and obeyed. At the very last chapter of the book of Jeremiah, I believe it's chapter 52, there's a little mention of a king named Jehoiakim. And it's verse 31 through the end. Just listen to this, and this is exactly what would have happened with Zedekiah had he obeyed. In the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the year Evil Merodach, I mean, come on, what kind of name is that? Evil Merodach became king of Babylon. He released Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and freed him from prison on the 25th day of the 12th month. He spoke kindly to him and gave him a seat of honor higher than those of the other kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiakim, look at this, put aside his prison clothes and for the rest of his life ate regularly at the king's table. Not only that, but look, day by day The king of Babylon gave Jehoiakim a regular allowance as long as he lived until the day of his death. And let me reiterate the guy's name, Evil Merodach. That's what he did. Evil Merodach did that. For a Hebrew king who was a prisoner, who could have been Zedekiah had he have just rendered his life as Jeremiah said. So ask yourself this question. Are you living in the Lord's favor? Yeah, you're living in the Lord's favor, just like Zedekiah was. He wasn't supposed to be king, and the Lord made him king anyway. Okay? Are you just sitting there now saying, well, cool. Jeremiah said, don't revolt against the king of Babylon. He put you there as king. Don't revolt against him. And Zedekiah says, you know what? I am so favored. I'm going to do whatever I want because I'm free to do it. So ask yourself, am I doing everything that the Lord has asked me to do to glorify His name? Guys, if you don't, already someone else is being prepared by the Lord to take that seat. Do you want to lose your seat of honor? Do you want to just give it up to someone else? The Lord asked you first. Listen, the whole time the commander Nebuzaradan was watching how the Israelites were getting demolished. And he knew about Jeremiah, and he heard about Jeremiah, and he knew about the prophecy saying to him, hey, you're going to be destroyed because you guys are sinning against the Lord. You're worshiping other gods. And so here Commander Nebuzaradan is like, this prophet is of the people, but he's against them right now. I like him. He's saying that we're going to destroy him, promote that guy. But what's really happening in his heart and his mind is he's saying, this God that they worship is true and just, but these people are stupid. They're not following what they're supposed to be doing. He took the glory. Commander Nebuzaradan took the glory. It should have been Zedekiah's. Your glory right now, which the Lord wants you to have while you uphold His name, at this very present time, someone else is working to take it from you. But I'm not saying they will take it. I'm saying if you neglect what the Lord asks you to do, trust me, someone else will take it. The same thing happened to Esther, and I'm going to close with this. Esther was made queen of Babylon. And then someone said, all peoples have to worship me, including the Jews. And the Jews wouldn't do it, so they were going to die. And Mordecai, her uncle, says, if you don't use your position of power to change the king's mind, Xerxes, the Lord will deliver us through someone else. Check it, it's in the Bible. Someone else will come up. But as for you, you will not be delivered. So ask yourself this question, am I doing what I need to do to glorify the Lord, not just in any way, but in the specific way that He asked you to do? And with that, I leave you. My prayer is that you will really take this message to heart. Let Zedekiah's actions reflect in your heart. My prayer is that Jesus will reveal this to you and that you will make the right decision. It's the same prayer I say for myself every day. I say it for you too. Be blessed in the name of Jesus Christ.